DJ Immortal, live in the mix.
Alright, Outlaw Radio Live fans, we are live on the air with the legendary East Coast Lord Digga. He is a producer and hip-hop artist. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. You know, I'm just in quarantine with my boo, COVID-19, just writing and, you know, just waiting to talk to you guys and everybody else out there.
Yeah, man, this COVID-19 is really kicking our ass.
New York, so, you know, everybody that don't know, you know, so you're hearing the stories or whatever, so we just staying safe.
Yeah, this COVID-19 stuff's been really kicking our asses lately, man. Hopefully it ends soon so we can all go back to our normal business.
Definitely. I got a lot of music to put out. Me and my wife, so yeah, we're going to, you know, we're just staying in tune right now, just tuning up. Ain't nothing stopping us.
So,
better, you know, when it's time to get back to normal life, do what we got to do.
Most definitely, man. So this is probably going to take you back quite a few years, but I have to ask you, what made you decide to get into the music industry from the start?
Basically, I fell in love with rap probably like 79, 80, early 80s. And it's just that my travels, first of all, I grew up in Florida, so I was in Florida, so you know the music scene down there at that time, it wasn't really rap. Everything was, you know, it was up north. So at that time, my mom's already lived in New York, so, you know, make a long story short, I found my way to New York. So the love for the music, I wanted to now, like, you know, contribute to it because I was so close, because, you know, this is the birthplace of rap, so it's like, I hear a lot of stuff. You know, I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else, but I think I can contribute and keep the music transitioning, you know, to the next level. So basically, I found a way to. I wanted to rap first, obviously, but I found a way to make, you know, music, produce. To now, so I can make money to now go and really do what I really wanted to do, which was make my own song. So that's how I really originally started, with me trying to produce and contribute to artists that was already out there. And, you know, find my way like that. Not just sitting and say, okay, yo, like one day I'm going to get a deal. I'm going to just go and I'm write mad songs or might write, you know, write mad lyrics or whatever that is at that time, and sitting around hoping that one day it's going to happen. So basically, that's how it started with me, on the production side.
And when you actually said that you grew up in Florida, like, I actually didn't know that. I always thought you were on New York, right across the water from me the whole time, man. So, like they always say, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I actually moved to New York in 1983, officially. I used to come back and forth. My mom was always here. I used to come back and forth, but I never wanted to stay. I always wanted to go back to Florida. So officially, I moved to New York in 83. So from that point on, I started to adapt, you know, I guess, more of a New York side of things. It took me some time. It took me about a good 7 years. So about 1990, I was probably fully adapted and adjusted to the New York lifestyle. It took me about 7 years.
And also, you are a member of the Blues Brothers production team. I have to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about that, and what's the story behind that?
Through my travels, make a long story short, I met my partner, rest his soul, rest in peace, man, Rich Doctor. I met him as I was working at ASCAP. That's kind of fucking crazy, because as I was learning the inside of the music industry, as working there part-time, he was working there in another department. So we got linked up, and he was already producing. So basically, as a matter of fact, he was with and he had already had a group, which was Witch Doctor and the Dominating 3 MCs. So he was already, wax and everything. So he was already kind of like established. So I was coming along as now trying to get basically tracks from him so I could start writing and doing my own songs. But in the process, in the interim, we started producing together. So I used to go to his house and learn how to work on, at the time, he had a Ensoniq EPS plus 16. So a lot of the early shit that was done on that. And basically, I would go to his crib. I had a set time back then because he was married, so I used to go to his crib and learn how to work on shit. And we came up with a lot of early demo shit that he was working on, like right in his living room. So for that time, I had this crazy idea. Like, we didn't have a name for our production team, or, at that time, we wasn't really a team. We was formulating something. But as I came up with the name, that's what made it a team. So I came up with the name Blues Brothers, and then from there, we just started formulating it. It took off.
And I have to ask you, with the Blues Brothers, was it actually like, was that name that you thought of, was it inspired by the movie?
Sure was. I was a dude that I used to like to wear shades. He was more of like the laid back one, which I don't know which one that would be right now because I'm high as fuck. I was the one that was the troublemaker. So I don't know if that was back then. I don't know if I was saying it to him. I don't know. But I was the troublemaker. So he would have a bunch of beats on my dad's page. I'd go to his house and he's playing this shit with me. And I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck are you doing with these? Like, what are you doing with the beats? So I started taking some of them, and obviously I wanted some for myself. But at that time, I didn't have a deal. I didn't have really no budget to say, okay, yeah, we're gonna go in the studio every weekend to make songs. So I started to now play those tracks for other artists that were established.
And I don't blame you for naming it that after the Blues Brothers movie, because you can never go wrong with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. It was a, and the thing was, it was a action musical movie. It was quite a few things of, music shit they're going to play at the clubs and shit like that. So for me, it kind of suited us because it was two of us, even though they did have a band, whatever. But the two main characters was those two dudes, and it was kind of like, for me, it was kind of like the hip hop version of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Because if you look at them, they kind of blues brothers too, in the sense of the hat, the suit. So I looked at it as that at that time, like, we're gonna be like them dudes, but it's like for the hip hop version of it. Even though we didn't dress up in hats and suits and shit and go to the studio and shit like that, but yeah, that was my thinking at the time. And that was like around maybe like 91, it was like 92, 91, 92 around that time.
And also, you are a member of Master Ace Inc. What's the story behind that connection? How did you all get connected?
Long story short, he was 4 years ahead of me in high school, went to the same high school with him. So basically, I saw his career, along with the rest of the INC at the time, which was Icy Rock. We all went to we went to the same high school. So, but we all were kind of like staggered in age. Ace was the oldest. So basically, we, like I said, when I was talking about giving those tracks to established artists, there you go. He was one of them. So now, Blues Brothers have an inside track on working on, Ace's Slaughterhouse album at the time. So a lot of that music that he was holding, we ended up playing this
And if you don't mind me asking, like in the future, is there going to be like any other, Lord Digga and Master Ace like collaborations at all?
I'm gonna say no, and that's not even by me. That's by him. He's established this, I don't know, the form of everybody hate Digga because Digga did something to me for him. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I don't think it'll happen ever. I
And
mean,
also,
it might be a sad thing for some of the fans I might want to see, because a lot of groups have reunited and, reformed in the millennium and came back to do shows and shit of that nature. It might be, fans might be disappointed, but like I said, it's not on me. It's not, it wouldn't be because I wouldn't want to do it.
it's understandable. You never know what could happen in the future. You guys could rekindle. You know what I mean? You never know.
Well, I mean, I guess if you hold a, glimmer of hope out there, I guess. But I wouldn't bank on it. I have a lot of things that I'm doing now that, it really wouldn't matter whether we reunite or not.
And also, in 1994, you helped produce Biggie Smalls' record called Ready to Die. I have to ask you, how did that production job come to be for you, and what was it like doing that record?
Well, early on in my production career, I was privileged to be in the Unsigned Hype in the Source magazine. So my first artist was Sir Essence Don, which was my little bro from the neighborhood I grew up in the Flatbush. So we ended up in the Unsigned Hype, and I became real tight with Max Speak, who ran that column at the time. So from there, something happened where I got a phone call from someone asking me how could they get an artist in Unsigned Hype, and that artist was Big. At the time, I haven't met him. I didn't know, but I didn't know it was Big at the time. But I kind of like moved that information to Matt, and Matt said, "Okay, yo, we'll give him a shot." He asked me did I know who the person was, and I just told him yeah. Because the person who was asking me, to try to get him an Unsigned Hype was credible. He was credible at that time. So I was like, yo, I'll put you through. I tell Matt to listen to it. He's going to listen to it. So basically that's how it happened. So Matt did listen to it. Then did got an Unsigned Hype. Then from there, it took another step where, Matt at the time had went to college with Puff at Howard. So it went from that, trickled down, it got to Puff. Whatever transition happened in that, whatever meeting or whatever, it moved forward. Next thing I know, he's getting signed. So from there, Matt had a couple of tapes of mine already at his office. So Big started going up to the Source as well because he realized that he lived in the same neighborhood as Matt. So Matt used to call up to the Source. He would go up there, whatever. So he had played a tape that I left in the office. Matty still doesn't know that I don't know Big yet. I just told him I did. So he told Big, yo, look, I got some beats from your man. The shit was funny. He don't know. He has no idea who Matt is talking about or whatever, but he hears two of the tracks on the tape. Long story short, he took them. Those two songs was Me and My Bitch and One More Chance, the original version.
And I have to say, One More Chance is actually one of my absolute favorite Biggie Smalls songs. I actually did not know you produced that song until I did my research for this interview. And I have to ask you this, man, when we're still on the topic of Ready to Die, how does it feel knowing that that album's like 25 plus years old and still relevant to today's society? Like, how does that make you feel?
I'm going to be honest with you. When we first did it, I never expected anything like this. This was our, as far as the success of the album, we had no idea. Because a lot of the songs were raw when we were listening to them, and things of that nature. We knew that he had a certain talent, but we didn't know what the plan, what plan Bad Boy had at that time and how they were going to try to position him to be one of the best to ever do it. We wasn't thinking like that because we was in real time. It was happening. So we wouldn't, we really didn't think, past just going to record, hearing some ill songs, have some access to some songs to some people that, that people didn't hear yet and shit like that. So I really didn't expect it. It was just like, wow, this shit right here, this is, it goes from him listening to a couple of tracks on a tape to this dude is everywhere, and everybody's talking about him. And we were fortunate to be involved with, one of the better constructed albums at that time coming out from a new artist that nobody ever heard of. So to be a part of it definitely was a fucking blessing. I can't even, there's no other way to describe it.
And I do want to say, man, personally, from me to you, man, thank you so much for what you did for hip-hop, man, because you helped, give us one hell of an amazing record, man, that's going to live on for ages. So for that, I got to say thank you while we still have you here.
Yeah, 25 years, we're talking about more of, something that, like you said, is still relevant to today, and just to be a part of it, yeah. Even though we didn't do the actual remix for, One More Chance, but the original version is still, pays royalties because it's our original song. So regardless of whatever, One More Chance is still listed as, produced by Blues Brothers Production.
And before we move off the Biggie Smalls topic, if you don't mind me asking, man, what's your most fondest memory with Biggie, if you don't mind me asking?
Just him being who he was and just being real. Like, he'll call you and be like, yo, come lick with me by Daddy's house. And we ain't even got a song to record. He just wants you to come through because, he feel like you're part of his family. You help him get somewhere where he probably couldn't have got without some of the, better music that was being produced at that time, and we was all a part of it. He didn't have a camaraderie with everybody, but, the people that he really, wanted to be around, he did that. He just who he was outside of the music. Being in the studio, eating chicken, smoking mad fucking dime bags on Fulton. The shit. Like I said, when you're living in the moment, you don't realize. I wish I had more pictures with him. Like one of my memories too is when we had did this show out in we had did this big fucking radio show out in Arizona, and the lineup was crazy. It was like Naughty by Nature. It was like Roger Troutman from Zap, rest in peace. Us, Biggie. It was just a crazy array of artists, and me and him and Little C, we was back dressing room, just smoking our face off. And at that time, he had some shit had happened where he had a little misunderstanding with Naughty by Nature. It was an interview he did overseas, and it was some misunderstanding. So this was the first time that they was gonna see each other since that time. So it was kind of like a little tension shit, but it ain't nothing really happened. This shit just kind of like smooth itself out, and then you just get a fucking ill show. But yeah, that's one of my better memories.
Most definitely, rest in peace to Notorious B.I.G.
Yes, sir.
And you also did some work with Old Dirty Bastard of the Wu-Tang Clan. I have to ask you, how did you and him get connected?
Interesting story. One of my homies, man, and one of my mentors out in LA, who worked at the Bitches Vinyl at the time. He knew Dante, and basically he kind of like just shifted us over there. Like, yo, I think that these guys can contribute to what y'all trying to do on this project looking for a remix for Brooklyn Zoo. So after he did that, you know, we started working on it, and we basically had two versions. And when we sent both of them in, Dante basically liked the other version. So I didn't like the other version, so I just wanted to send one, but we sent two. So, you know, we just wanted to ensure that we was going to get this fucking remix. And plus, this shit got to go through RZA, too. So RZA didn't okay this shit is a fucking rap. So we wanted to ensure that we was going to get it. So we sent in two versions. So Dante took the other version. So when it came time to go to lay down the fucking shit, I purposely, this shit is so funny now. I purposely set the numbers on the FB1200 off like by two numbers. So when the loop would turn around for the track that Dante wanted, it wouldn't turn around smoothly. And it wouldn't lock up. Because at them times, you used to have to lock up the tape, you know, with the MIDI and all that shit. So I purposely didn't lock it so it wouldn't lock into the time code and it wouldn't loop properly. So when Old Dirty Bastard's lyrics was playing, at some point, it started to tail off. So I was like, yo, Dante, see, you know, we only played you up to a certain part in the song, so you know, it's starting to tail off. It's not syncing up. So I think we should use the other beat. The shit was that funny. He had no idea, so I'm just looking at it. I'm making this stupid things like, right now, so then I flip the tempo back to the right tempo, hit the button, and now you have it. No, it wasn't there. So I was the one that was in charge of everything that day. So the shit was so fucking crazy. So I flipped the shit, and then I put the right tempo, and there you have it. Brooklyn Zoo remix.
And I heard ODB like in the studio and whatnot hanging out with was just a fucking hoot to actually hang out with, man, from what I heard.
Yeah. I didn't get to see it. The shit was ill because I got to see him maybe like 6 months after it happened. We did a remix, and he was like, yo, man, that shit is fire. Yo, you and yo, Blues Brothers, I fuck with y'all. Because we was filming MTV, and he was on the same show with us, so they had us all in the green room. Shit was like 9 o'clock in the morning. He was like, yo, let's go get this 40. I was like, what? He was like, I said, what? He gonna sell medicine this early? Like, yeah, this shit was fucking crazy, bro. We threw back like 2, and we was lit by the time we got on the fucking show. I know he was more lit than us, because I think he went back to the store while we was filming. So.
Hey, man, like they always say, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, you know?
Of course.
So, in the year 1998, you dropped the track Flows is Tight, and I have to ask you, man, it's one of my personal favorite tracks of yours. What's the story and inspiration behind that iconic song?
I'm going to be honest with you. Being that we had access to studio equipment, records, tapes, me one day, like literally going through the TV tunes, television, I would say theme songs, television theme songs, game show theme songs. So in the process of me rolling up one day, I was rolling up, sitting in there, I hit play on the fucking tape, Price is Right comes on.
Oh.
Yo, Price is Right? Like, this would be really fucking funky if I could pull this off. But at the time, I just didn't see where it was going to go. Then like, yo, like, where's this going to go? So I rolled up, started smoking, set the fucking shit on the 950, and I just sampled this shit. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to see where this goes. And I put the drums in. I saw some heads look around into the room like, what the fuck? And I was was like, this would be the corkiest shit I ever did. But I had no intentions on really doing a song. But after listening to this shit just over and over again, it made me to start thinking about shit, and then it just formulated, and from there it just took off. But I didn't think it was that serious until John Schechter, shout out to Shecky Green, hears it, and man, he wants to put it on Game Records, which would be the first record ever released on Game. So basically, you know, that's when I knew it was a little more than what I wanted it to be. But usually when you do shit like that, it's never the songs that you really like. It's always the songs you like, nobody's gonna like this shit. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's like something for you. But other people didn't feel that way. Like you just said, it's one of your favorites. So I appreciate that. And that's why I do shit. I'm not really, when we first started rhyming, the way I felt, you was trying to impress your people. You know, yeah, I want my people to know I'm nice, and yo, they want to know I rhyme. But once I started to travel, I realized that outside of your block, there's other people that listen to different shit.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I actually opened the show with that track tonight, man. That was the first track of the evening, right after the intro.
Yo, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. I started listening probably right after that.
But I got some more coming right after as well. I'm going to be playing High Like a Bird, and I got Feel It as well from your Southpaw Records EP as well back in '96.
Oh, man.
I got the old school stuff being lit up tonight.
You would have told me. I would have sent you some of the shit that I'm working on now. I got a couple of those that it don't matter because I'm going to still send it to you. You shoot me an email and I'm going to send it. I'll send it to you.
Sounds good, man. If you, like the old saying goes, if you send it, I'll spin it, man. I got you.
Yo, good looking. I appreciate that. I need all the love right now. You know, we got a couple of new projects on the horizon. But go ahead, continue.
And also, you are signed to Game Recordings record label. Can you tell us a bit more about that connection, and what is it like working for Game Recordings?
Yeah, like I said, the Flows and Sight record, you know, Johnny, Shecky Green, you know, he heard it, and he was fucking with it, and he was like, yo, I want to put this out. At the time, I didn't know that it was going to be the first recording on Game Records. I didn't know that at the time, but it was, and, you know, we didn't get to film a video for it, and things of that nature, because he was doing other stuff as well. You know, if people don't know Shecky Green's background, he was a part of the Source magazine as well. So, you know, being on Game and releasing that record at the time, it did a lot for me. You know, as far as just letting people know that, yeah. That was kind of like one of my first on my own records, you know, without being attached to the INC or anything of that nature. So yeah, that was a big joint for me at that time. I didn't really know how big it was until I started traveling. People was like, yo, Flows is tight. Yo, do Flows is tight. I had no idea. You know, you in New York. The internet era of you now, how it is now, that didn't really come through until later. So you still thinking that was probably 2 to 3 years later. That's 98. That's 99 at that time. So still we wasn't on how we are now. You know, Facebook, the Instagram, fucking TikTok, all this other shit. If we had that back then, a lot of new niggas wouldn't even be out right now. They wouldn't even stand a chance. So, yeah. Being the first artist on Game was a pinnacle point in me and my transition from the INC and being a official solo artist.
Are you still currently signed with that label, or did that label go defunct?
Mm-hmm. Nah, it's kind of like in defunct a little bit, but you can still get some of the product from that time online. You know, they came out with a couple of other J records after, you know, right after that was Eminem and Royce. But just to feel, I felt good about being the first one and knowing that, yo, look who comes right behind me was Eminem and Royce. So, yeah, that was like a big deal.
And also, jumping ahead a couple years, you were in 2016. You were a part of the Lords of the Underground European tour. I have to ask you, what was that experience like touring with them and actually being overseas?
It was good. You know, it was when you in the '90s and shit. We didn't get a chance to be around a lot of the people that we liked and get the chance to perform with them. So, you know, I kind of looked at it as like, you know, finally it's coming around to where you get to show love to some of the people that you probably didn't even have a connection with back then, because, you know, everybody was doing different things. So, you know, Northern Underground basically in Jersey, you know, we in Brooklyn, we in New York, so unless some big show comes, you know, to New York or whatever, or like, you know, Summer Jam or something like that, it was rare that you're going to see any of the artists that you really like. So for me to do that with them at that time was, yeah, it was a good look. Shout out to Lord of the Underground, Mr. Boston and everybody.
So I have to ask you, Digga, what's next for you? Is there any projects you want to promote? We still have you on the air. Any shows after this COVID-19? Any new records dropping at all?
All of those things. Well, since that time, to get up to speed, when you talked about 2016, since that time, before that, I basically linked up with my brothers in Northern Virginia, seen Demo, and they made me a part of their family. It was like the best thing in the world. It was like the first time in my career where I really didn't have to worry about, if I didn't want to make a beat, I didn't have to, because they got me. Jay, somebody, Wise, Tone, somebody got me from Team Demo, so I didn't have to worry about it. So it gave me a little bit more freedom songwriting wise. So since that time, I don't know, man, I probably done accumulated 70, 80, I have no idea, songs, multiple projects. I released a Bud album in 2015 called First Base. The song got there, it's on, I don't know, I can't remember now, I'm too big right now. Looked at other shit, sound something broad, I don't know. But search for it. Lord Digga First Base, that was 2015. So at the same time, I was constructing other projects too, but that one was the first one that rolled off, the puppet. So now we're working on 3 different projects at one time. Probably a little more than that. Like some little mini projects too. But I got a project called Rap Illustrated that's gonna be released. Hopefully November, you know, the way we're going now, that's going to get probably pushed. With my family, KML, playing Music Live, we are out in Amsterdam. We're going to do Rap Illustrated. That's a Team Demo, Brooklyn Billionaires, Lord Digga collaboration on production. And then I got a EP that I'm working on right now with my bro Biggie from Brooklyn Billionaires, that we just basically started maybe like 3 to 4 weeks ago, and that's about to be completed. You know, just different joints here and there. I did a couple of features coming up. Outlaw products, my dudes. I got I'm actually happy to be working too alongside my wife right now, so she's trying to get her things together, so we're going to be working to do some things with her. Look out for some bamboo music. So we're going to be working with that. Her and her team, putting some things together. So it's a bunch of shit that's going on. You know, all good shit though. No bullshit, all good shit.
And that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I have to ask this, man. So this is the time of the interview, Lord Digga, that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the show. Just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. And also your social media handles. That way our listeners can give you a follow if they're not already doing so.
I got so many guys. Yeah, a lot of my pages got shut down, or I forgot passwords and shit like that. So on Instagram, it's at the highest man alive. BAHIESTMANALIVE at the highest man alive on Instagram. Facebook, they made me fucking change my name, yo. That's somebody must have recorded me like a bit, probably was 8. Niggas fucking made me change my name. So my government name, Facebook, is Reginald Ellis. But I have a fan page, Lord Digga, the highest man. So actually, Lord Digga, the Heisman. The Heisman is my fan page on Facebook. So you get at me here too. All that other shit, I ain't got no TikTok or no whatever the fuck that shit is. Just fucking reach me. You want to get at me, reach me at. You can email me too at nje305@aol.com. Any inquiries about shows, performances, features, all of that. Get at your boy. He's working very hard. I'm a silent killer right now. It's like carbon monoxide.
I want to say, Lord, thank you so much for coming up on the show, man. It was an absolute honor to have you on the platform, man. I've been a fan for a very long time, so it truthfully was a surreal moment, man. Thank you so much.
Yo, thank you, bro. I really appreciate it.
You're most certainly welcome, man. You have yourself a wonderful night and stay safe with all this crap going around.
Definitely.
Talk soon, brother. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Everybody tuning in. Everybody tuned in, man. Shout out to y'all, supporting us, bro. Outlaw Radio.